总共拿到茶，大概花了1个半小时到2个小时吧，好像。
Waiting over an hour for tea sounds ridiculous, shocking even. But this isn't your everyday tea. What they're waiting for is cheese tea.
其实芝士茶的话，它是一个打破传统的一个创新的饮品。年轻人这一代的话，不会说太过于喜欢就单纯的一杯茶，所以的话，我们就创作出芝士茶这款新式的茶叶。
Cheese tea is exactly what it sounds like. Tea topped with cheese.
奶酪的话，我们会选择就是不会说偏酸或者是偏咸的，就是味道比较淡一点的。其实打芝士比较浓稠，然后的话加在茶的上面。不会跟茶就是混在一起，上下2层的时候，第一口进去的话就是口感比较饱满滑香，然后的话就是茶味会回甘。我们一个单吧店的话，平均每天的话可以销售2500左右，2500杯左右的茶。单吧店的话，我们的产量的话可以达到4500杯左右。
And today, cheese tea is more than just a novelty. It's gone global. From Malaysia to Los Angeles, people are drinking it everywhere.
在工作中的话，就带给了我很多快乐吧，就是在这边做茶的话很开心。
On the Italian island of Sardinia, there is a delicacy that has been consumed for thousands of years. It is known as the world's most dangerous cheese. Yeah, you heard right. Meet Simone Iba, a third-generation sheep farmer.
Abbiamo circa 250-300 pecore che produciamo latte. Una parte di questo latte lo utilizziamo per fare del formaggio casumarzu.
Casumarzu literally means rotten cheese, and it's not for the faint of heart, because this cheese is infested with thousands of live maggots. And while that might seem a bit off-putting at first, it's the maggots that give the cheese its distinctive texture and flavor. Here's how it works. First, a traditional wheel of pecorino cheese is made from sheep's milk. Then, a special fly called a cheese fly is allowed to lay its eggs in it.
In una quarantina di giorni la forma sarà completamente invasa dalla mosca casearia e dalle sue larve.
Over the course of 2 to 3 months, the maggots eat the cheese and then excrete it out again, transforming it into the soft and creamy casumarzu.
Per il sapore piccante e il sapore diverso, gusto pastoso, glielo dà il lavoro che fa la mosca.
Today, it's a favorite for special occasions like weddings and birthday parties. But eating this cheese can be dangerous.
Secondo qualcuno il verme continua a vivere all'interno. Non è così, se no saremmo pieni di vermi noi, perché ne mangiamo da una vita.
Even though cases like this are extremely rare, it's risky enough that the cheese is illegal to sell. But farmers like Simone continue to make it for themselves.
Sono pochi quelli che fanno ancora il formaggio marcio, però l'ho sempre conosciuto. Mio nonno l'ha conosciuto, i miei nonni, i miei zii.
And they just can't get enough.
Formaggio marcio, col prosciutto, una fettina di melone e la morte è sua.
Kad je sir od magrećeg mlijeka u pitanju, jede se retka priča. Ako je nešto retko i jedino na svetu, to svi ljudi sveta žele da probaju.
Very good.
Moje ime je Slobodan Simić i ja proizvodim sir od magrećeg mlijeka.
16 years ago, Slobodan Simic bought a dozen donkeys. His herd has since grown to nearly 300. But hundreds of donkeys doesn't necessarily mean gallons of donkey milk. Unlike cows or goats, donkeys produce milk in very small quantities while nursing their foal.
Onda sam ja se zapitao zašto nema sira od magarećeg mlijeka i vidio sam da to niko nije uspeo da proizvede.
So he tried to make cheese from his donkey milk, but it turns out that process was far from simple.
Problem sa pravljenjem sira je u tome što magareće mlijeko nema dovoljno kazeina koji služi za zgrušnjavanje mlijeka.
So he keeps his methods a secret.
Znači, jedan dugotrajan proces koji traži određene tajne i rješavanje određenih problema koji drugi ljudi nisu rešili. To je ono što omogućava da taj sir bude najređi i najskuplji. Mi trenutno smo jedini koji znamo napraviti sir od magarećeg mlijeka.
The cheese goes for around $500 a pound, and it has a rich, nutty, and earthy flavor. It is known to be quite filling, but just a select few have tasted it. You can only get donkey cheese in Serbia.
I ne postoji niko ko je probao da je mislio da je to nešto loše. Znači, jede se nešto što je posebno i što nema na drugim mestima i u običnoj prodavnici kupiti.
Let's say you're a cheese producer, and you need a loan because you want to buy a tractor or food for your cows or really just about anything. There's a bank in Italy that will take your cheese and give you cash. This is the story of 3 men and millions of dollars worth of cheese. Meet Mauro.
Ciao.
He's a cheese producer in the Emiliano region of Italy. He produces Parmigiano Reggiano, the so-called king of cheese.
La latteria produce 60 forme di formaggio al giorno per un totale circa 20.000 forme all'anno.
20,000 wheels? Holy cow, that's a lot of cheese. When Mauro or another cheese producer in this part of Italy needs a loan, they go to Credito Emiliano, a big Italian bank. And like any bank, Credito Emiliano needs collateral for their loan.
Così io gli do il mio formaggio.
And to do that, he talks to Fausto.
Ciao!
He works for Credito Emiliano.
Siamo una banca tradizionale e siamo anche una banca attiva a sostegno dei produttori del Parmigiano Reggiano.
Parmigiano Reggiano is a special kind of cheese because it needs to be aged for 18 to 36 months, and a wheel can be worth thousands of dollars, making it a safe long-term investment for the bank.
La decisione di utilizzare il Parmigiano Reggiano per questo tipo di programma di garanzia è semplicemente dovuta al fatto che questo è il prodotto tradizionalmente tipico, per non dire nel tempo forse quasi unico di questo territorio.
To be clear, the bank doesn't store the valuable cheese in its vaults next to gold bars and stacks of cash. They have a special cheese warehouse down the road filled with thousands and thousands of wheels of cheese. That's where Roberto comes in. He's the general director of the Tagliate General Warehouses. That's where Credito Emiliano stores their cheese.
Noi ci prendiamo cura del formaggio per conto dei clienti.
Roberto and his team take care of more than 300,000 wheels of cheese. That's currently worth more than 160 million euros. Without proper care, cheese could lose its value.
Tuteliamo l'investimento dell'azienda produttrice, quindi dalla mucchia fino alla banca.
Well, Roberto, sounds to me like the cow, the bank, and the cheese are in good hands.
Fondue. It's this thing we do with cheese. We melt it, we dip it, we eat it. In the 70s, it became super popular, but that didn't just happen by chance. There was an ominous force behind it, a real-life cheese cartel. 100 years ago, cheese was a hot commodity in Switzerland. It was exported at high volumes and played a major role in the Swiss economy. But that all changed after World War I. European countries devastated by the war could no longer afford to buy expensive imported cheese, which was bad news for Switzerland. So the government stepped in and they formed the Cheese Union. Basically, it was a cartel, and it worked like this. The first thing they did was force every dairy farmer and cheesemonger to fix the price of cheese, eliminating competition, meaning everyone could stay in the game. The cheese cartel also told them exactly how much cheese to make and limited the varieties. So instead of making thousands of different kinds of cheese, they only made 7. And it worked! The cartel controlled the cheese supply for decades. By the 70s, they got greedy and wanted to expand their cheese racket globally. So they introduced the world to a dish already popular in the freezing cold Alps: fondue. By marketing cheese for fondue, the cartel was able to sell more. I mean, think about it. It takes a lot, and I mean a lot of cheese to fill a pot. But as with most cartels, things got shady. Money went missing, people went to jail, and by the 1990s, the Swiss Cheese Union was dismantled. So there you have it. The reason we know and love fondue is because of a shady government program that convinced the world to consume massive amounts of melted cheese.